why United States Fish and Wildlife Service did the whole, but they kind of invited them to sue them as well.
That's not true. We can talk about that in a minute. Sir, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, I've got several comments. I'm on Benton City Council here. I found out about this meeting through a Facebook post. Right
Probably from
after y'all
me.
started. I didn't know anything about the meeting.
No, it probably-
It's the County River, and I'm involved with the river tremendously. I'm also over the city of Benton for drainage, so I have to deal with the Army Corps engineers and how you have to call and get permits to dig in any creek and move a rock. And we can't even move some rocks in front of the culverts because it goes too deep in the trench, and so they clog up. We have to go get them every 6 months and go, because we can't change the trench or the depth of the creek. And I know that everything that pours into the Saline River with the Army Corps depot and all that, you can't touch anything on your property or do anything because the Army Corps has to approve because it flows into the Saline River. So we do have a reservoir though, sir. It's right by Sunset Lake. It's really big. We draw water from the Saline River for the city of Benton every day. It comes down Lake Laurel, dump it into the Saline River, gets some E. coli, and we draw it back out and clean it up. So the water coming down would affect city water if the government can do something. I'm sorry, I do work for Congressman Griffin's son. I'm an elected official. I've had to deal with Clinton, the chuck wagon races, Mr. Eoff and his farm because of something in the creek and they don't want them crossing. They almost tried to shut him down and Congressman Griffin had to get involved. So it does happen in the state when something's in the creek and they say you can't cross it. I'm sorry if I'm not as trusting as the EPA as y'all might be. I know y'all have good intentions with the wildlife because I hunt and fish. But even on this piece of paper that you put out, although water quality has improved in some areas, pollution, especially polluted rainwater runoff from roads and fields, is an ongoing threat to the native mussels. Dirt and chemical contaminants in streams continue to take a serious toll. That right there leaves the door open for anybody from the federal government to come down and say your field from your cows or something else is contaminating the river and hurting the mussel, harassing. So y'all might have good intentions. And it might have been all that mussels that you helped save years ago might have been fine. But I don't trust the EPA and the current government that's going on now. And so, what might be happening this year didn't happen last year. And people's farms and property, I'm just not as trusting in it. If they're growing fine now in the river, why change it? Why try to grab it? And once you put that set on it, then it's going to be the field. How you fertilizing for your farm? What's going on to your field? What's draining off into this? And it just keeps growing and growing until the federal government has their claws into every part of that river. And I know we fish on it. Fish are doing fine. I haven't caught a mussel yet, but I'll be sure to stay away from it. So, but it does affect farms now. And from the EPA, I don't know if y'all were involved with that with Mr. Eoff up there in Clinton, but I'm just not as, trusting, and I would hope that they reconsider this, and I will be getting in touch with Mr. Griffin again to make sure with him and Mr. Crawford that, they try to put some pressure on. Because y'all didn't, like you said, make this an endangered species, but there's always a reason, a goal behind ends to a means that somebody wants.
Yeah.
And that's just, we've been doing fine without it, and I appreciate it. Thank you for